Okay, I finally survived my work week, folks. Alright, I am ready to sketch now. It's been a crazy week at that. So, I decided to challenge myself with a shadow demon. Yeah, they're a little dark, but they're a lot of folklore. And people say these exist. We have them in video games and all kinds of stuff. So at Chong the dog, we say why not? And here we go. I'm going to use my black blending pencils with this. I mean my pastels. Sorry. And I do have my cards. I get this going before my dog wants to go to the bathroom and everything else again. This is what he does. Alright, I'm going to start with my sketch like always. I think this lens is, I think that I'm high enough, I don't know. Possibly. See if I had something to hold that up, that would be great. Maybe this little thing here can hold this up. I have little baskets and all this stuff in my life. There we go. And I'm closer to the phone so I can see your responses. So that helps my life. Alright, now. Oh, okay. My pastels are over there. So. Let's do that. That light's glaring in my eyes. Alright, I'm going to start the sketch now. Alright, so how's everybody doing? Oh, 7 people already. Yeah, I've had a long week. My son's been having problems with his fiance, what they were supposed to be married, and it was crazy. He's going through a domestic, and she ended up, I can't mention names, but she ended up he ended up going to jail for something he didn't even do. They couldn't hold him in county jail, so of course his dad got him out. And it's been a mess. It really has. So it's got me to sketching shadow demons. So, and I think it's important, and there's a lot of men that do go through this, is be careful who you're with, because I guess apparently women can bruise themselves, and it happens. So I try to be informative and talk about real things. And honestly, there was no proof. He still had to spend a week in county jail. But, like I said, this kid, sometimes women lie. I got my cards right here if you guys want a reading. Women do lie. Men lie sometimes, but men can be abused as much as women. So, I do want to exonerate on that point. And I'm not saying that all women do this, because I am a woman, but they may not always do, but sometimes they do. Yeah. But sometimes women do it now because they try to exploit the system. And it was proof because they had nothing to hold him. She said that he did all this domestic abuse, but she abandoned her child or their child. And he's trying to get custody, so now she's trying to be Mother of the Year. And sometimes these are how these things go. There we go. Shadow demon went away for a minute. So it got me doing some dark stuff. But yeah, I want you guys to all be careful. And love is great, yes. And their relationship was okay at first. But he literally stood by. I mean, she's literally punched him, and he would not hit her back or anything many times. And for about a year, he's been abused. And instead of the judicial system, because he's a man, researching it further, they just took her side. He had all this stuff. I mean, paid out, and his dad obviously paid out for everything, but it's not right. And a lot of women do this. And the thing is it's great to be in love, but on the other hand, it's good to know your limitations and where you want to go in a relationship. You can't just sit there and expect somebody to stay with you forever and never have their own life. We were all born for a purpose. And I feel now, and I get it, there was times when men was just a little bit more dominant society in the 40s when women didn't have rights. I mean, I don't know what it is for if you're what country you're in, but in our country, women didn't really have rights and all that, and then they didn't have the right to vote for a while and stuff like that. And all these laws were put in place to help women. And the thing is, it's sad because I am a woman, and the thing is that women now are using that to their advantage. Women are in gangs now, and they're doing awful things like guys used to do. And they're doing it back to men, and they can absolutely get away with it. And it's not right. It really is not. And this whole entire thing of using a child against a father, I'm here to say it's bullshit. And it really is bullshit. You cannot use a child against their mother or their father. And people do this. I only know English, my friends. I'm really sorry. Oh, okay, I see it. My name is Hassan. Okay, hello, Hassan. I hope I got your message. I pronounced your name right. I'm so terrible at that. But yeah, I honestly have just been trying to counsel my son all weekend, and it's come down, friends, to they're fighting over the family cat. And this cat, I've rescued him myself personally. And it was his cat, and he ended up running away. And anyways, they took the cat, and they've been together like about 2 years. And anyways, now she's trying to take and say it's her cat. And it's like, I get it, but she has like three other cats and a dog. And she doesn't even want my son to have his cat. So now I gotta go in this domestic situation going on, and I have to retrieve this cat because technically he was younger when this happened, when he got rescued and got his shots and all this stuff. And I guess where I live, I was told by my one friend, because I have cop friends, because I'm not against cops. I mean, I know there's bad and good and everything, but I'm not against them. I'm okay with cops because I feel that with no law and order, it would be chaos. I mean, sometimes, yeah, the system does fail at times. I get it. But, all systems aren't perfect. So, anyways, I have to go. And I called the shelter that when he got lost, that they gave that I adopted him back, because I had to pay like, I think it was like $150, and it was years ago. And he was rescued, and I had all the paperwork. And the thing is I'm holding the keys to the kingdom with this damn cat. And and the funny thing about it is, you guys know I love animals. This cat Max, he would sit there and fight with deer and all this, and he would get in all these issues. I was his nurse. He had a chemical burn on his neck, and I fixed him. And I was always his savior. And I know that Max is over there thinking he's never going to see my son or any of our family again. And it's funny because I've always been his Florence Nightingale. I've always been his savior. And the crazy thing is, I'm going to walk in with the police. They're going to be fighting over the cat that I legally, I guess, own, because in this state, animals are property. So the shelters mailing me all the information on Max, and they said I'm the legal owner. And I have not had any contact with my younger son for like 2 years because she forbidden it. And he felt bad. He even said, "Mom, I'm so sorry," and all this. And I was like, I knew it wasn't you. And I even told him that. I said, I know it wasn't you. And I told my son I love him. And now I gotta go be Max's savior once again. This cat's probably gonna run in my arms like he always does, because he gets in all these crazy situations, and I'm always the one to help him. Always. So, and I'm going to be in this crazy thing, and they're probably going to scream in my face. And I've been stressing. I'm not going to lie. I've been stressing because I'm not a part of this domestic. I'm the one that told him I didn't have a good feeling about her. When I seen her, I seen a shadow demon. I absolutely seen a shadow demon. And now my son, his eyes open. Because I have a friend that's a shaman. Don't think I'm strange. Well, I am strange, but I have a friend that's a shaman, and she did some shaman work, and she was able to get him to open his eyes and stuff through light stuff. Like, she like does the new age stuff where she sends positive stuff. And she was able to do it through me, because we were blood. And I did it about 2 months ago, and me and my son were talking. And he said 2 months ago is when his eyes opened. And then he goes, every time we fought, she said you called her succubus. And I told him, I was like, at the time, I did see something inside of her, but I don't know what it was. But now I think it's more of a shadow demon, or the demon, or the ones that lay in between. And sometimes they could take over people's. They don't really take over your body. They just influence you because they are here to cause chaos. These beings, and they're there. If you believe on them or not, the thing is, they're there. They absolutely are, and they cannot bother you or hurt you as long as you're honestly, if you don't let them or give them energy, they can't do anything. And honestly, I've read about this kind of thing in not Middle Eastern, but old Chinese and Japanese folklore. Because I'm a writer, that's why you're getting all these. That's why you're getting all these things with my AI pictures. I have Gemini. I have one of the most advanced AIs, and I did get it for free because I have Google One, and I've been with Google One for a long time. A lot of my videos I send over are made from Google. I'm a Google girl. I love it. Google's treated me good over all of my social media. But anyways, I've sent over a lot of my inspirationals because I try to mix it up, and I like to write. I did one. They're one line ballads, folks. That's just common writing, and it's medieval. I do medieval writing. I do like medieval writing. It's one of my favorites. I like Old English. I like Old English folklore and everything. I love everything about Old English and Latin. It's one of my favorite things to write. And we're all loud in life. I got the bottom of her thing. This is kind of what I seen when I was looking at her when she was with him and she wouldn't leave my house. And I kept telling him she don't live here, and of course she stayed a couple nights and then never went away, and then all of a sudden they both moved out and everybody called me crazy, and now my son's telling me he should have listened to me. But anyways, this is what I seen. And I told him sometimes God separates us for reasons. I can't tell you the reason because I'm not God, and honestly, he has a big job. I'm realizing that now. He has one of the biggest jobs in the world, protecting us from these things. And I'm talking about these things they're crazy. These things. Right. I kind of thought she looked more like this shadow demon when I seen her years ago, and I just did not want her in my house when this crap happened. So we're gonna go with this one. But but yeah. And I do want to reflect upon, if you are in a really bad relationship, man or woman, you gotta, I don't know, you gotta answer to a higher power and you gotta get out of it. And it might be hard, but these are things that you have to. And sometimes I think we're tested by the higher power. I mean, I don't know for sure. I mean, none of us really know for sure because we're not God. We're not the one above. But I think we're tested for our inner spirit just to warn others. Because I really think that that's our mission. And then if you can warn others, I think that you're supposed to. And maybe when you defeat these things in life, you're really supposed to maybe help out someone else that's going through this. I don't know. I really couldn't tell you. I mean, I myself, I go to shamans and stuff sometimes because everybody has different versions of what they could do, their capabilities. I can do certain things. I can see images and I can see dead people. Some people feel energy only. Some people are energy only, but they know when they answer this and hopefully I can come back. Hello. So give me a minute. Alright, I think he butt dialed me. Everybody likes to call me on there. Oh, I am from Ohio, friends. I am from Ohio. But like I was saying, I think these things that we see sometimes, and if you have abilities, I think you're supposed to be given these abilities to help others. And I do. I absolutely give away all of my art. Absolutely. And I like to come on here to try to maybe help people. I mean, that was my whole mission coming on. Oh, hello, Shandu. Is it Shandu? Oh, okay. Or Shandu. Or I think it's Shandu. That's a pretty name. I like that name. Michelle is just so basic. They always go, oh, Michelle, France. I'm not even French, honestly. But but that's a nice name. I like that name. But I think I was put and given these kind of things to literally just help people through things. And I feel like if whatever gift you're given in life, and it doesn't matter what it is, if it's cooking, it could be cooking, it could be spiritual, it could be anything. I think you're supposed to help people with it. I think people that are born that are great chefs, they're meant to feed people and they're meant to help people eat. So I really think that people that are really good in business are meant to help others, strive to help other people. I mean, I was awakened when I was 40 and I'm 51, so it's only been 11 years. I was awakened very late in life. And now that I'm dealing with other people that are spiritual, they tell me that they've seen this stuff their whole life. I have not, folks. I think that's why I always go to science. Always. I go to science all the time for my answers because I really don't totally sometimes understand, I guess, them fully. I ask the universe a lot of times. And I really do. And these are true facts. This is what I do. And there's nothing wrong with that because I'm not God, but maybe if this is what God wants me to do with my existence is help people, I'm okay with it. I really, really am. And I'm really okay with all that because I feel that It's okay sometimes just to be weak and have, and I don't think it's a weakness to depend on others. I think this was God's master plan. And I think these shadow creatures try to break us apart. Because there is power in numbers. There absolutely is power in numbers. So, I will tell you that. And that's why they try to gather in numbers. Because there's always power in numbers. That's why in the Bible they're always talking about numbers. And if you it's I know in the my Bible, the New Testament, well the King James version, they talk about numbers all the time. And the Bible's very specific about numbers a lot of times. And I think it's like that. It's set up because in darkness there's numbers. And I do see these different numbers that run through darkness sometimes. So God has his numbers too. So if you're in these bad situations in life, you got to seek help from where God is sending you. And God sent him back to us. You know, it took me to find a shaman and stuff, but you could come back on your own accord, and maybe that since I'm going through this, maybe that's what I'm supposed to do is help others, maybe reach out to their family again. And I'm not going to lie, my son, he was, was in with a different kind of crowd, and he got into some drugs and stuff, which didn't help things. But he's back. He's trying to take care of his son, and he got the support of his family, and maybe God paved his way back to us. I don't know. See, me, I'm a little different because I'm autistic, and a lot of autistic people are can be funny about what they put in their bodies. They're funny about things and senses and little sensory things. And we love art. And a lot of times this is how I get things out is through my art. I mean, I don't do it just to show off. I do it because this is what I like to do. You know what? I'm gonna do this and then make this like a cross. She's gonna be like, because this is how I seen her. So we're just gonna make this like a shadow dress here. There we go. And shadow creatures don't have perfect dimensions on their head. Sometimes their head's too small for their body. But maybe I was made this way and I was able to see things for this reason. Because he's seeing and picking up things. And maybe that's the way it's supposed to be. But there is power in numbers. God says it. And a lot of Bibles, I would assume. And then it can be, and it's absolutely true. So if you find yourself in these bad situations, try to get help. And if you see someone in a bad situation and God puts them in your path to help, I mean, God helps those that follow him and is on his team, I guess you could say. If we're going to think about this in football terms, I like to think, since I'm autistic, I like to think of things and I like to relate it to things because I do see these passageways, how they go through things. And they go through, we can open passageways without even knowing it. Like you get on these different drugs and you do open pathways. And sometimes you let one in. And when you let one in, it you give it more power. And this is why I know people think I'm insane because I check on the Satan group all the time. They do a lot of that in Satanism. And I feel that, and they portray them as nice people, and they say you have free will, but I don't feel you do. And the thing is they have specific ceremonies, and this is on Facebook, folks. It is absolutely on Facebook. This is why I go there to spy to see what the world is about, because sometimes I just like to go to work and back. I don't like to be dealing with the things in this world because sometimes people aren't nice. Oh, good morning. How, Carl? But yeah, I don't. This is about the most socialization I get is talking to you guys, but it's something. And when I when I do my research on these, like they were literally publicizing a ceremony, and I guess if you're unawakened and you don't have any spirituality, you think it's crazy, and then you say, "Oh, maybe that makes sense. I can get wealth. I can get this. I can get that." In this world, wealth is money, and most world's wealth is power. We're not the only realm, and they have, and a lot of false gods are here. And it's not people or energies; it's things we created, like money and stuff. And when these other realms, you open them up, and let's say you want to dabble into that stuff and destroy your life, you're absolutely allowed to. God's not going to stop you because he says, well, I guess that's one lost sheep, and he goes away. Because if you're going to choose that, you don't choose him, but you absolutely have the right to choose. You absolutely have the right. So you go, you choose that. But anyways, when I was reading these, they had a whole ritual of how you could invoke these things and you'll have money. Yeah, I agree. It probably would work if you manifested enough. Yes, yeah. But what are you bringing with it? That was my question. I asked the universe. I always ask the universe because I see things. The universe told me you get your money, but you get sorrow and regret. That's what God fills in love. And these vices of darkness fill in sorrow and regret. That's what they do. That's what they're geared for. And that's what they like is sorrow and regret. And they feed off of your sorrow and regret. I got that when I asked the universe. And I'm like, well, hell no. So I even asked them, I was like, why do they publicize it? And they just said that you have free will. They're they're allowed to do what they want to do because they're in a free realm, and maybe some people have said this is purgatory to me. Because I've asked, I'm curious. I'm like Scooby Doo over here, folks. And I've asked the universe, and they said that we all have free will. When we leave this realm, we go to another. And the thing is, the question, I personally ask myself is, why the hell would I want to go to the realm with these ugly creatures that you probably won't see your mom or your dad? You probably won't, but they say you will. I mean, when I died, I've always been very positive, and I'll give someone the shirt off my own damn back. That's just how I am. I felt love when I died and happiness, and I was glad to be there. And I felt love when I died. Maybe if you make enough bad choices, and you do a couple of these crazy ceremonies that obviously dark things and people are doing, maybe it brings you to a realm that you really don't want to be in. I mean, these are questions I ponder, and there's many questions I ponder. When you're autistic, you ponder all this, and when you're seeing these things on a daily basis. But when I seen this creature in her, it couldn't hurt me or bother me. It just bothered whoever let it and whoever believed it. I never believed anything she said, and I used to have. And one time we were on the front porch, and she was talking funny, folks. And when I say talking funny, I don't get scared over demonic things because I think they're silly. I absolutely think they're silly. Because if you see something that looks that crazy and ugly, and it's trying to tell you that how to have a good life, and you feel complete misery, because I pick up energy. When I see these things, I pick up misery and despair. So if I pick up something that has all that misery and despair, and then they're trying to tell me, and she didn't even remember what she was saying. That was the crazy thing about all this. She just like, what did I say? It's always ends up like that. What did I say? I don't understand what I said. But and then they don't remember nothing. But it was like the demon at that point. Well, we're sitting on the front porch, and he said that, and that demon told me, "I'm going to take your son, and nothing you can do about it. So you need to deal with me." And I said, "I don't got to deal with any fucking demon. I won't. I won't be a slave to anybody. If God doesn't make me a slave." Okay, there's my son left me a thing about his probation officer so for all this damn paperwork. But anyways, I won't be a slave to anybody, folks. If God says there's no slaves, it's free will, and we need to help each other, that's what you absolutely have to do. And you don't have to, but it's a good idea because these things, I felt their intentions, and none of their intentions are good. Because God does take care of you. Just like when I didn't have a whole lot of money and I was not doing well in life. I stuck in there. And then eventually I got a decent job, and now I'm doing great. And I feel that that's maybe the route we're supposed to go. And maybe God just wants you to earn it. And what's wrong with earning your keep? I think you absolutely in life should earn your own keep. It's just like going to school. I mean, you go, you earn your own keep, and your parents pave your way. You listen to your parents, and then before you know, in the end, you got a better life. And maybe that's what God is. God is our Father. So maybe that's how it is. I don't know for sure. I'm only one person that sees things. All right, this thing is so dark. This soft pastel will do it all. But these are my insightful words for the day. Because after this, I have to contact a probation officer to go on this list, to go in this house to deal with this demon woman that wants to exploit her darkness everywhere. And the thing is they're always back and forth and doing this and that, and she wants to make everybody miserable around her. I don't deal with misery. God doesn't want us to be miserable. When my mom died, there was angels. I seen angels surrounding my mom in the bed when she died, and she died at home. She did not want to die at a hospital. But when my mom died, I seen angels. And when I died, I didn't see the angels. I just seen my mom, and I seen happiness, and I felt nothing but happiness. I felt no pain. I feel that if your experience is a little bit different than that, maybe you went to a whole other realm and they say that they're God. Because there's a whole lot of accounts in the world of a lot of different things. And the thing is I don't think that when some people go, and when they go, they're not going all to the same place. Because when some people I deal with the death a lot, and I've told you guys that because I'm in nursing. I see a lot of people die. Sometimes when people go, I feel peace after they left and while they're dying, and then some people I don't feel any peace. And there's nothing, and no amount of prayers you could do sometimes to help them. I sometimes say prayers over their body a lot of times, and I put the sign of the cross. Sometimes that's not even enough. Because it all comes down to free will. As much as you're allowed to choose God, you're allowed to choose the darkness also. I think people forget about that. They don't really want to say it, but it's absolutely true. And honestly, it makes sense. Because I feel if you're allowed to choose God, and God is free will, and this is a free realm of choice, the other side has to get their people too. So if the other side's getting their people, God can intervene in certain ways and put his. We'll just go to say this like a digital writer creator. They're allowed to put their publicity out. That's what I feel. God puts his publicity out through prayers and stuff where you can get a hold of him. Obviously, so with darkness. They need, and they're always trying to recruit. I feel they are. And sometimes they always say a mother's true love with you for your children, if you pray to God enough, there's an attachment that your child always has with you. Like all this abandonment and stuff, I feel it's darkness influencing people to do these things. Like that old case years ago. I'm old. I remember things and I forget how long ago it happened. Where a father took his daughter, I think she was like 2 or 3 or something, put them in the oven and cooked her alive. I am a firm believer that they were under the influence of a demon, because I feel if you get put yourself out there and all that, I think it affects you in this way. And I think God comes in and does everything he possibly can to protect that child, which that's what God does. He protects us. So, oh, I'm married. I can't date anybody. I'm sorry. Maybe if I wasn't maybe if I wasn't married I would. I'm married and I have an ex-husband, so I got too much going on, my friend. Way too much. Alright, these eyes are white. I'm gonna put these here. There you go. The shadow demon's looking pretty damn badass. I just literally I gotta get out my images one way or another. I got the outline. I still gotta finish my shading. because this is a pretty dark demon. But yeah, I honestly feel that these are things, and I think people need to stick together in this world. I really do. And I feel like when we separate, that's when they have the most power. And they do have power, but their power from my research that I've been doing, because I'm like Scooby Doo over here, is what we give them. And I don't really do the research from the Bible. I do it from just watching these things. And and they have been trying to bother me. Yes, they do. I don't give them any power. I absolutely do not. And I rebel against them. And I remember everything that I love and care about, and they have no power over me. If you remember everything you love and care about before this event, when they're trying to do stuff to you, and you got a strong mind, they cannot bother you because you're living and they're not. This is the thing between death and life. And life is a gift. And I know we were told that in church. I'm a Catholic, I know. I'm told a lot of stuff in church here. But we are told that in church, but it is absolutely true, because if you think about it scientifically, if you're not alive, you're given the privilege to create your own energy. That's what being alive is, creating your own energy. And if they are dead and they were not given life, they want life. Even though they act like they hate life, they want life. But if you don't give them that energy, they can't have it. And that's the bottom line. So whatever you got to do to make yourself happy and stay strong, religion's really good with that. It is so good with that, religion. Because it helps give you an understanding of what these things are and what they do. Because you absolutely do not want to contend with these things. And you have to have strong mind. And people that are religious and grew up in religious backgrounds, they do have stronger minds. And they naturally can figure out how to put a protective shield around them. Prayer. That's why Satanists have their own prayers, because prayer absolutely works. And I'm not saying this because I'm promoting religion, because I'm absolutely not. I'm bipartisan, my friends. Bipartisan. I just promote goodness. I'm not promoting anything but goodness. But religion does promote goodness, but you got to look into the factors of it. You can listen to a pretty song that reminds you of a better time, and that could help too, because our brains are very powerful. Stephen Hawking even said this. We're like Our brains are like a grid to the universe, my friends. We give off synapses and all this stuff, and it all goes somewhere. And we're connected to the universe. We absolutely are. People don't think they are, but they really are connected in a lot of different ways. So, I wanted to give you guys hope today and get this shadow demon, because my son was asking me what I was seeing, and I never really thought about it. And I went to sleep and then kind of remembered what I seen. So, which I thought this would be hard, and it really is not as hard as I thought it would be. That or I'm just becoming a better artist. Who the hell knows these days? I started out as a really good writer, which I'm getting close to getting that damn computer whenever my older son gets his head out of his ass. But now I realized I could sketch a little in the whole process of my life. I got her little crazy dress going here. I'm going to do the top here. I like to do the bottom kind of the way I like it. These soft pastels are pretty good. I like these. But I like to give awareness. That's my thing. I think in life that the higher power wants me to give awareness any which way I can, because there's a lot of bad out there. It really is. And if you come across bad, don't be afraid of it. I think one of my favorite passages in the Bible, the King James, is if you as you walk through the valley of darkness, fear no evil. Because those words are very pivotal. In the Bible, all Bibles, I'm not just saying the Bible I read is the best. It's not. They're all they're all good. It's a Bible. But these words are pivotal because as you walk through hard times, it's your fear and giving in to things that makes it bad for you. And people try to tell you you can't do this, you can't do that. And they try to bring you misery sometimes. And the thing is don't let it. And it might be hard. You might get less money at first because that's where they try to get you is gifts. They really do. It's gifts. They're always talking about gifts, money, and this and that. If if it's all about money and gifts, generally it's not good. Now, if it's about let's raise money for an animal shelter, to help people, that's perfectly fine. Because money, I'm not saying is evil. I'm not. I'm not at all. I'm really not. Because it's not. Money is not evil. It's all it is a currency. That's it. Alright, now I'm going to use the white one just to blend this out. But I figure I come over here and do this because it does help me think when I do my little arts and crafts. Oh, how you doing? I think I have that. Yeah, I'll get your question. Will I meet my future wife this year? I will do that for you. But heed my warnings, my friend. You might meet your future wife, but when you meet people around the same time, you meet several people because only one is the real one. It's kind of like that Eminem video where he has multiple versions and all that, and there's like different stuff. You're going to meet a lot of women. You're going to meet one that you think is the one for you and one that's there for that darkness shows you. And you got to choose whatever your life path. So I'm just telling you now to beware of this. Because that's what happens when you meet people. Because if you meet one person and you're in love, there's always two, because there's one darkness sends and one that the light sends to you. So The one that darkness sends will be a lot easier to get. The one that God sends you, you got to work for. So, because I'm terrible with women. Hey, you know what? I'm terrible with life. I'm autistic and I'm struggling to understand demons over here. I get it. I totally get it, my friend. You got a void of course moon on this one, which just means nothing's happening. But you have a full moon in Aries that's surrounding you and a new moon in Aquarius. And a full moon in Aries just means there's something's coming to a boil in your life. And there's going to be a lot of anger and hostility and whatever this situation might be. And then it's going to go away and be resolved. And I don't think it has anything to do with relationships. It could be something else that needs to be done before you meet this person. That's what I'm picking up. And then you got a new moon in Aquarius, which is good. After you get through whatever this situation is in your life, it could, and I don't think it's in your love sector, it's in something else. And then after that's done, and then she's going to come. And spirits don't work on our time, they have their time. 1 year for spirit time, it's different. Oh, you're autistic? Yeah, I don't know. There's just something that needs to be done before you meet this person. I don't know. And honestly, they're not telling me what, because that's your happy surprise. That literally is your happy surprise. So, just kind of be careful. I'm not saying that everyone you meet is going to be horrible. I'm just saying be careful, because you never know what's going to happen or not going to happen. So you got to be careful about things. You absolutely do. I'm blending this in here. Well, then you understand my love for art since you're autistic also. This is the way when I see things, I get them out. I get them out of my head. When I see things, that's what I do. And a lot of people on Facebook tell me it's scary. And then they report it to the fuzz over there because I got scary art. But yet, the Satan group always gets theirs out, and sometimes theirs is way scarier than mine. But somehow, mine gets taken down. I have not quite figured it out. I just maybe figured it's a sign I should be on YouTube. So I did some inspirationals and I do little things over there, the ones that they approve of and apparently like. So, and that's okay. It's whatever. Maybe this just means I need to be here streaming with you guys more, and I just do the little commercial stuff over there. Like the little happy, all those inspirationals and stuff that I put over here for shorts. A lot of those I do that because I get money for that. And then I take that picture I get from Google Gemini and I put a real nice saying on it, and I get money from that too on Facebook. I think every network has something they like about you and something they don't like about you. They don't like my idealisms. Not at all. They don't like this kind of streaming. They don't like conversational, even though they say they like conversational streaming, they really don't. They could say it all day long, but they really don't. If they liked conversational streamers, they wouldn't take their stuff down when they did literally nothing wrong. And somebody trolls you and then it gets taken down. But that's okay. That's why YouTube is probably going to surpass Everybody. See, now when I did use white, but look how nice that blended in. That's how you get the nice flawless look of things with it. Like if you have a real black background type thing. Like if it's really, really dark, just to get it to blending, but you still use your white pastel. Still. I mean, you don't. That's just the way that is because you gotta. It's all in the blending. You can have something that looks super, and if you blend it in wrong, it's not super. That's just how that is. Alright. Now I'm just gonna lightly blend this in. Because you can't have it looking like shit. See, I don't even know if I fully like this. I need to get the eyes more defined. What I need to do. And then I can always get my black marker. And I just want to do a little blending around that. That's good. But oh, I know you're not robotic. I said it autistic. I get it. Sometimes I say one thing and mean another. And I say this, folks, because I'm working on things, but sometimes this is how autism can run. Sometimes you mean to say one thing and you say the total damn complete opposite. But that's somehow the way the cookie crumbles. Alright, I'm going to try to take this black marker to try to get this eye again looking nice. Because it don't look ominous. It kind of looks not very ominous. Alright. So I'm going to shade this over to try to get like almond features to this eyeball. Because we really want that. There, that's good. And right around in this area here. I kind of want this also. Just the faint little lines here. I'm going to take this down like that. It's a little better. Sometimes just using good old marker helps, honestly. You could use any marker. I had Teo tree markers I use, so. Alright, we got this now. I don't know. I think it's pretty damn badass, honestly. I'm really liking it. I'm vibing with it. I am. I don't know. I feel like it could have something more like. I don't know. I can say maybe a 9-pointed pentagram would be nice. Let me sketch that out. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm going to shape out this. This came to my head too, these little triangles. I have these little symbols that come in my head sometimes too, so this symbol came to my head many a times right here. It's a triangles coming out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, and then this little start here, they go opposites. There we go. Yeah, that's nice. I like that. So we're gonna get this tail tree marker right here. I like how it's pronounced, tail tree. Alright. Yeah, these are the symbols that came in my head. That. They all connect up. So I'm going to do that. Come on here. They're looking pretty good, really. I'm very happy with this one. Looks pretty badass. Maybe I'm gonna shadow creatures. I don't think I could post this on Facebook. There we go. Now that is what the symbol I seen right in here. That is what I seen right there. Alright, now I want to. We have these little highlighter markers. Punch them. I think orange would be pretty. I'm just going to shade a little orange in here. Give it a little color. Sometimes any markers, highlighter, it doesn't matter. And I'm going to shade it kind of like the way the demon is shaded. The shadow demon over here. Because they're kind of going up in all the lines of the shadow demon. Alright, there we go. Yeah, this is really good. I like this. And this I'm not using pastels with because I kind of want to keep it looking really good and clean so you could see the symbol well. Because this is definitely the symbol I seen representing this little crazy shadow demon woman thing. I don't even know if I could call that a woman, but that's what I seen. But it does look pretty cool, and I am proud of it, because I did do a good job sketching those. And I do like to try to do things in life because, you know, you only live once. You really do, friends. You only live one day at a time. So, if you only live one day at a time, gotta be happy for what you get here. Right. I'm gonna take this background and lighten it up a little with something. Let's see here. I use a lot of purple. I really do. Maybe yellow would be good. We have so many different pastels here. Okay, I'm going to use yellow for my background here. I feel that would be nice. I'm going to shade this in around this way. This really is my favorite kind of art, is all the shading art. Yeah, I want to do that. I think this yellow will work out well. I want to get all around this here so it kind of comes in the background nicely. Because if you have too much dark, I feel it's not good. Because you don't really see what you're trying to make as well. There we go. And where I'm putting some of the pastel, it's mixing in with the black and it's turning out nice. There we go. And even between these fingers, I want to get to where you can see there's diversity there. There we go. This is very nice. I think it's pretty badass, honestly. See, here we go. You got that contrast of dark and light. And then we got the symbol. What that thing means, I could not tell you. It's just what I see. It looks so nice too. Oh my god, this is incredible. I cannot believe I did this. I don't always, sometimes things I do don't always come out the best. But lately, the sketching is really working for me. It makes me happy to come on here and be able to do a good sketch. I don't have to have thousands of people. I'm just like to come in and be able to do a good sketch. There we go. Yeah, that's nice. How that background's coming out nice. There, that is real nice. And I'm just doing this up and down with my lines. This is how you want to kind of keep it up and down with your lines. That is the important thing right now. Up and down with these lines. Maybe pretty soon I'll be able to do Chong. That would be lovely. Alright. There we go. Yeah, that's really good. That is really, really good. Especially with that yellow with the black. It really kind of blends it in nice. Doesn't make it look so dark and lets it pop out a little bit. There we go. Oh my god, yes. Look at this, folks. That is incredible. It is incredible. I feel so much better. I got it out of my head. And it looks really good, too. I think I finally did something that was on another level, which I've been trying to do, my friends. I have to. I can't sit there and not try to challenge myself. So I want to say thank you to whoever came in my stream or just gave me a shot or checked me out because I appreciate it. I appreciate the peak interventions and all that good stuff. Because he gave support, and that's all that matters. And I hope that you like the conversation and my drawing because I do unique things. But I'm about ready to get off of here because I gotta charge this thing, my phone. I'm gonna take a picture of my happy demon sketch. Jeez, this is. I don't know how I came up with this. I could not tell you how I did this because. Wow. Maybe I should try a couple more of these. Because it turned out real clean looking. Real clean looking. Alright. Thank you. And thank you to all my subscribers and support. And I hope everybody has a great day.